Hello everyone, it's Desy again. Welcome back to my kitchen. Konnichiwa, watashi wa Desy desu. Okaeri. So today I'm going to be making a minestrone soup. I am going to let you guys know up front that yes, I did have a recipe for this, but for me the recipe was just a guideline. So I will tell you what the recipe said and then I will show you what I actually did. The first thing I did that was different from the recipe is that they wanted you to put the pasta in with the soup while it's cooking. I don't know, I just don't trust that. So instead, I cooked the pasta by itself and we'll be adding it in later. Also, I don't know if you noticed or not, I did not measure the pasta at all. I was very much eyeballing it. I used about half of the box. Come to find out later on, that is way too much pasta. I ended up having to use the excess pasta for another dish. So I would say use about a quarter of the box. So when chopping up vegetables, you basically want to chop them to a size that you want them to be in your soup. Me personally, I find this to be a very rustic soup, so the chunks are a little bit larger. However, there were some that were bigger than what I wanted, so I had to go back and chop them into smaller sizes. Also, I ended up chopping up a second zucchini off screen just because I found that one zucchini was not enough for me. I'm not sure what it is. I just can't seem to slice celery down the center more than once. So while the first piece is perfect, the second piece is not so perfect. That's not gonna matter much here because unlike the zucchini pieces, which I like very large, the celery I like very small. So the fact that it's not even is really not gonna matter for me in this recipe. Not gonna lie, until a few years ago, this size knife was something that was just for show. It was part of the knife set, I never touched it. But one of Frankie's friends actually showed me how to mince with it, and I've been using it ever since. So do not be afraid of the very large knife. Okay, so here's another deviation from the recipe. I am pretty sure the recipe said 2 cloves of garlic, and I'm pretty sure I laughed at that and said, I'm gonna do what I want. I like garlic, so therefore, additional cloves of garlic for me. If you're not a garlic lover, you can do just the 2 cloves, or no cloves at all if you don't want any. In my humble opinion, I find that fresh garlic is best. However, I really didn't want to sink in the time of getting fresh garlic, peeling it, whatever, whatnot. So I got the garlic cloves already peeled from the store. I've also used the garlic that's already minced in a jar. That works great in a pinch. And then there's also garlic powder. So I would do those in that order when it comes to like freshness and taste. A garlic bulb, peeled garlic, minced garlic in a jar, garlic powder. So while the first one I said is probably the freshest, the one that I said last is the fastest. So kind of pick where you are on that spectrum. I'm chopping the spinach now, but it's going to be put in the very, very last because it cooks the fastest. So I don't want to burn it while the other vegetables are cooking. So I got these carrots already shredded, so no cutting here. Now with all of these canned beans, you're going to want to drain them. I got the diced tomatoes that already had the Italian seasoning in it, so I'm not going to drain that. I'm going to put that directly in the soup. Like I said previously, all of the vegetables except for the spinach go into the pot. I'm gonna let that saute a little bit, get a little bit softer before I put the spinach in. Here's a spot where I did take a detour. Usually they have you season the broth after everything has been cooked. Me personally, I like to season the vegetables just a little bit while they're cooking so they don't taste as bland in the soup. So I don't really have any measurements for the seasonings at this point because I have detoured in, out, and around this entire recipe. I'm really just listening to the spirits of my ancestors at this point. That and off camera, I have a tasting spoon to make sure that we're at least in the ballpark. So here is the finished product. I have to say I'm very proud of the way it looks. And I do give it a taste test. I am very proud of the way that it tastes. And for those of you who might be curious, that is a blueberry pomegranate tea back there. This soup was very quick, very simple, very easy. I made a large batch of it, so it lasted about a week and a half. I would definitely be doing this again. I very much encourage you guys to try it.